Hello folks, as you can tell by my appearance, it's hot. Been working up at the forge quite a bit already this morning. Finishing up a couple of blades. And this is the one I made in my last video. Since for a long time I really never showed the finished product very much, I'm trying to remember to show the finished product. Now, I made the sheath. The blade that we forged in the last video, it's got a nice bird's eye maple handle, several good coats of true oil on that. Fits the blade, fits the hand really good. Makes somebody a nice little camp knife. Today we're going to try a little different project because I'm tired of forging knives. It's hot. So I've got a piece of garage door spring up here. It's small. It's maybe 3/8 of an inch in diameter. It's a very small spring. And we're going to forge something for my other hobby and see how it works out. We're going to forge a fish hook. So let's go up here and get it hot and smack it a few times and see what happens. Okay, I'm going to start out by drawing a point on this piece of coil spring. After we've drawn our point, we're going to isolate a little piece on the end. You can see that. That's going to end up being our barb. Now the aggravating part is drawing this out smaller. And as we do, it's going to stretch it out longer. And basically, I'm just forging it down square. As I do that, it pushes the steel out longer. And of course, to a smaller diameter. I'll draw it out till I get to be just a little bigger than the diameter I want. And this is all, no, I really don't have a plan in this. This is all just sort of going by and by what I think will work right. I went from square to octagonal. Now I'm going to round on the part down at the very end. I'm just going to keep drawing it out, thinning it down. Working it in 4 sides. Now I'm going to come back and knock the corners off and take it from square to octagonal. Now I'll go back and I'll round that section over. I'm not really worried about it being perfectly round. If I wanted it to be perfectly round, I would have gone from square to octagonal and then knocked the corners off the octagon and then smoothed everything up at a low heat and taken all the hammer marks out. But this is just an exercise. This is just trying to do something just rough and ready here. Though I do intend to use this fish hook. So I've got it drawn out long enough on the end that's going to be the point. So I need to cut off the excess. That's just a scrap of steel I'm going to use for a bolster plate. In case I mess up, I don't want to cut all the way through, but I need that bolster plate in case I had made a mistake and cut all the way through. I don't want to mar the surface of my anvil. Just break off our extra piece. There we go. Now we're going to draw it down a little more, take out a few hammer marks. to straighten everything back up. And we're going to draw it down to the other end. Now I kind of want the back end of this hook to be a little thicker than the point end, and that's fine, because I'm going to make a type of hook called an eyeless hook or a spade end hook. And I'm fairly certain that's probably the kind of hooks that were originally made. I may be wrong, I don't know that much history of the fish hook, but I think that the spade end hook was made a good bit before hooks actually had eyes in them to tie the line into. We've got it rounded out, or we've got it drawn out about long enough, just round it up a little bit. That's not too bad. Now we're going to flatten out the part that's going to be the barb. And I'll go clean that up with a file. Unfortunately, I can't show that part because my tripod isn't tall enough to get a good angle on my vise. And since I use circle hooks, I have bent the point back on itself. And now I'm going to start forming the hook. And this stuff is so thin it loses heat really quick. Oh no. Yeah. I'm going to have to straighten that back out a little bit. I use circle hooks for my catfishing because it really cuts down on gut hooking fish. And the bigger fish I release, I don't keep anything over 10 pounds. There we go, we're getting it about right. If you're hearing strange sounds in the background, it's either my dogs running around or my wife in the other room. She's suffering from a bit of a cold right now. And there we go, we've cut it off. Now I'm just going to go to the corner of the anvil and flatten it out and form the little spade end on the hook. There we go. And like everything else though, anything high carbon needs a little heat treat. And I don't think it's as critical on this as it is with the blade, but we're going to normalize it 2 cycles. And now we're going to quench it off in the oil and clean it up. And now I'm just tempering it. I should have moved my camera, but I didn't think about it. But actually what I'm doing is I'm using a propane bottle. I've got the hook polished just a little bit so I can see the colors run. And I'm just heating it with propane. I'm trying to temper it out to a nice blue color. I want it soft enough to flex and be tough, still hard enough to hold the sharp edge. And once we get to the right point, a little more, got to be careful here. And that blue out to the cutting edge of the point. And drop it in the water. Let's give it a look. Yep. Circle hook's plenty strong. And it's designed that it won't hook in the gut. It actually won't hook until it starts to curve out of the fish's mouth. I believe that's going to do just fine. And here we go. It's our finished hook. Got a little flat spot in it right there. I'm not really happy with that, but otherwise, I think it's gonna work fine. Now I've snelled on a piece of 30-pound monofilament. I'm actually gonna use this next time I go out catfishing. I'll change the 30-pound to 50-pound mono because we get some really large catfish around here. But that spade, the spade end, there are still hooks that can be bought with just a spade end and that don't actually have an eye in them. It's old school stuff. Just a snell knot. That's not gonna come off. That's a nice strong hook that should handle fish on up in the 50-pound range. Anyway, if you're still here, I know it wasn't a knife video, something a little different. But thanks for watching. God bless and have a great day.